How are you doing, ladies and gents? Trust you've been safe and well and training hard. Today we've smashed out a chest session. So we're coming off the shred from our comp, loving the green and gold colours from the ICN national competition. It was pretty good coming in fifth. To know that you're fifth in the nation, achieved that in state, doing it in nation in my category. It's a pretty big thing, and quite proud of that. So I quite enjoy the digs. Love the green and the gold. I feel like I've done something. Only important to me really and a few other people, but it's still pretty good. Today we're going to smash out chest. So coming off that shred and eating healthy now. I'm obviously on more calories, got a bit more power. So we're going to try and go back to what we were lifting previously. We're doing 12 sets, 12 reps, 3 sets. Sometimes we go for fourth. We really want to build the chest. This is what I do to build my chest, a few different exercises. And I'm jumping in a bit early. I haven't got things set up because I really wanted to get through the setup phase. While I do a lot of training at home in my home gym, I do go to the gym as well. It's good to have both options. This is great for when I haven't got the time to get to the gym and you still really want to train. A lot of people say, "Oh, I can't train at home. The kids get in the way. I get annoyed." Get them involved. Get the kids involved in training. I've got a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. Obviously, you've got to be safe. A lot of heavy weights. Start them young, teach them early, and you'll find that the kids are pretty smart. But I've started early because I really wanted to just show you how to put weights on, because you wouldn't believe how many times I'm at the gym and you'll see people time and time again, they load up one side first. Like physics has failed them. And look, you've got a bar, put all the weight on this side, it's going to fling up. And I've seen people destroy themselves, absolutely get knocked out at the gym. And I reckon it happens at least once a week. It'd have to. Like I've probably seen it once a week. Someone comes in, all the weight on one side, bang. And then they're sitting there going, oh. So make sure when you're loading the bar, because no fitness influencers ever actually show you how to load a bar. Okay? So make sure one side at a time, bit by bit. So we're just putting 220s on either side. Usually I go a bit more, but because we're coming back from our shred, like I said, bang, see, nice and even. The Olympic barbells tend to have a bit more better weight in them, and you can do sometimes one side. I think that's why people get misled. But play it safe. 20 at a time, either side, and the bar stays quite stable. All right. So now let's get to the set. So I hope you enjoy the videos I'm putting together. I thought I'd do something a bit different. I've enjoyed doing the motivational videos, but it's mainly because I've been training full on. I haven't had the time to do videos like this that I wanted to do. And we're leading into our podcast that will be starting soon with a lot of other influencers and trainers that I want to be interviewing over time. But I thought I'd just run you through what the champ does, number 5 does, to get on stage, and how to build that chest. So pretty simple, really. You kind of want to be nice and flat. Arc your back a little bit. Pretty simple. A little bit. Depends what you want to do. So if you want a deeper burn inside, you grab it a bit closer. All right, it'll bring it in a bit more. Or if you really want to build that chest, you want it all wide grip like that. All right. Again, you don't want to go past 12 if you're not shredding. If you're building, you just want to stay on 12. And just to your chest. Rest. I could have done a bit more then. But you just want to go to 12. If you're overextending or if you're overtraining, you'll start to go into a shred. It might not work the same for you. For me, I've found that works the best. So when you're coming down, you can just sort of the bar wants to be sort of over your nipples, sort of thing. And then, look, don't rest it on your chest. If it makes it easier, just touch it lightly. If you've got a big chest like me, you'll end up hitting it anyway. And then off. You don't want to bounce off your chest. You also want to maintain control whole way through. So you really want to feel that weight, and you want to feel it in your pecs. All right. So now a second set. Now how long do you rest between each set? It all depends. Depends what you're trying to do. The more you rest, the less likely. If you need more of a rest, right? You'll know your body better than anyone else. But the shorter period you rest for, the better it is for building muscle. I'm just going to bring this up a bit more. And if you're training alone at home in your gym, right? Safety bars. Very important. We've all seen the YouTube videos and memes of people getting wrecked at home, but it's while people laugh at it, it's not really a joke. It's pretty serious. If you're by yourself and you get yourself in a position, it's a lot of weight up there. If you can't handle it, you're gonna, worst case scenario, death or some really, really bad injuries. So make sure safety first. Always use your safety bars. Fortunately for me, I've never had an incident at home, or I've got someone I can call out to in the other room if I get into issues. But after a while, you know what you can and can't do. But see, that's a good height. If I get into an issue and I'm struggling, I can just roll to the side, and I know that this won't hurt me and crush me. It's going to hit there. It's going to hit there. I might still hurt myself, but I'm not going to end up dead or squashed like a pancake. The other thing, if you are training by yourself, you notice I don't have clips on the side of the weights. Now, this is the other thing. If you don't have safety bars, avoid using clips, because if you do get into a struggle, you can tilt the bar, the weights will slide off, and then it'll fling the other way because the weight, again, how I said at the start, imbalance, right? You get yourself out of a tricky situation. If you're training by yourself, no safety bar and clamps, it's a recipe for disaster. If that comes down, you need to be able to lift it off you. And if you can't, good night. All right, let's go set number 2. Nice and easy, nice and light. So we do 3 sets, 12 reps. We do a couple of different exercises. So we're going to be doing flies with dumbbells. Again, later on, once the kids are in bed, showered, I'll head to the gym. I'll do machine flies, machine chest, machine, upper chest, whatever it's called, incline chest press. You do incline here too. We'll give it a crack, see if we can. One thing you need to understand when you do incline, you're working a different muscle group. You're not going to be able to lift as heavy as you can on an incline as you can from a bench press. Now, I'll see people go in the gym, bench press this weight, then try and do a, incline bench, and they're like, oh, this doesn't work. Different muscle group. You're also fighting gravity different. When you're lying down, that's supporting your back. You've got a strong foundation, and the main focus is on your chest. When you've got an incline, you're now putting pressure on your spine, your shoulders are coming into play. If you go too heavy, you're going to take it away from your chest and put a lot of pressure on other parts, your spine, your other muscle groups. So you need to go a comfortable weight. Don't worry about how much you can lift. If your goal is to power lift and grow strength, you'll get there in time. It's about, building that technique first. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're still learning, or if you've been doing it for years, you'll get the results you're after. But it's about making sure you're comfortable with the weight. If you're not comfortable with the weight, you're not going to be able to train, you're not going to see results. So focus on, being able to do the exercises prior to lifting the heavy weights. Bang. And there's your 12. All right, so now we're going to do tricep workouts. I always do chest and tri together, as when you're working your chest, you're also putting pressure on your tris. So I really like to fatigue the muscles I'm working. That's why I do chest and tris. Legs I do on their own the whole day, biceps and shoulders, and then back and abs. Now again, we're going to go through the pack up of the weights. Start on one side, right? So you take one side off first, yeah, then move across to the other side. Now this is where it gets a bit different, taking them off. So what I do is I pull this side off like that. And then we come in closer. So now we're bringing the center of gravity or the center of the weight closer, because if we're like that and I pull this one off, we're going to go boom. So pull this gravity nice and close, slide it off. That's not going anywhere. Now, a big reason why I do it like this is because I do train at home with kids, and sometimes kids like to run around. And you can't always guarantee they're not going to be in a dangerous spot. So you have to make sure you take extra precaution. And that's why I also like with this weight, I've got something knocking it up. I don't like it sticking up in case one of the kids puts their foot on it. It's always flat. And kids will always find a way to hurt themselves. All right. Now we're on to triceps. So let's move our bench out of the way. So what I have invested in, and I'd recommend, even if you don't have your own gym set, jump online and grab one of these to have in your gym bag, as well as these things, because gyms, while they do have these at the location, they obviously get used a lot and they become damaged. If they're damaged and you're using it and you have an injury, well, you're more prone to have an injury if they're damaged and there's tears in them. You're trying to lift, it's going to tear yourself. Said it in the past, especially with these kind of cable exercises. I've seen it plenty of times, people using ropes, they're damaged. You can see they're damaged, but they still use it. Next minute, snaps, bang, straight in the face, broke a nose, lost teeth. All right, so save yourself the headache, spend the $20 and get yourself some of your own equipment. Now, tries. We'll start off facing this way. You can see from the back, and then we'll turn around. So these are one of my favorite exercises. And now I find the ropes are a lot better, because while I do have the bars you're going, straight down. I find the best workout for tries is with the ropes, because you can come down and you go out to your side. All right. So, shoulder length apart, come down, out to the side, out to the side, out to the side. 7, 8. Try and keep yourself straight, glutes tight. And we only want 12 reps. I don't know if I did 12 or 13 then, but yeah. So as you can see, nice and, you don't have to go super slow. You don't want to go fast. I was probably, I think the speed was all right for what I'm doing. Just want to go nice and controlled. You want to make sure you feel it in your tris. So as you can see, there's that. All right. So we'll start again. I don't know if this is going to work. Maybe we'll go from the side. It might give you a better, actually, yeah, that might give you a better view. So, shoulder length apart. All right. You want to bring your glutes forward, tuck them in, activate your glutes, and then come down. Struggling a bit those last reps. Getting back into it. So once again, the ropes, these are really good. And I always find 3 sets, 12 reps, 3 sets. For me, it works magically. You go 4th if you want as well to really fatigue that muscle. I find 3 is the magic number. And you probably see how I was training just then. So this gets pretty close. And that's what I'm talking about. If you're using damaged equipment, breaks, you shit things up, knocks you out, smashes your teeth. Dentists aren't cheap in Australia. I'm sure they're not cheap anywhere. You don't want to be having yourself any surgery, requiring any surgery just from lifting weights. So always be smart and always be safe. Yeah, it's too light. As you can see, flare it out. That's where you really feel it burn. Alright, and now we're on for some flies. Wonder how much I'm lifting for this, coming off the shred. That's better, figure it out. So, pop our bench back. As you can see, having a home gym is a great help. Like, it's worth spending a couple of bucks. Like, this stuff's not expensive anymore. It's not like back in the day, this would have been, a $15,000 setup. It's relatively cheap, mate. Like, don't get fooled about getting high grade steel, unless you're Olympic champion, or like I compete in bodybuilding, right? I've just got this rack, that bar. I do go to the gym to use the machines, but unless you're a power lifter, lifting like a ton, a lot of this stuff is fine. With bodybuilding, it's about technique and muscle development and building. So you don't always want to be going heavy. It's not about strength. It's about look, and the aesthetics. So we're going to do some flies. Now I do these both with the dumbbells, and then we'll head to the gym to do the machine. Just because I feel the machine does give you a bit more of a targeted, focused point. I think this video will be good when I started, and now you can sort of see that pump coming along. Gotta love the green and gold, don't you? Okay. Alright, so what do we want to go with? 25s, 20. Look, let's start with the 15s. See how we go. Oh, that might be too light. Alright. But we'll give it a go. Alright, so these are another one of my favourite exercises for building that, that chest size in the middle, really getting that definition. Hopefully, we do them right in the video. Alright, so again, I'm going to hit the rack. I want to cut down a bit so I don't hit it. So with it, start up. You don't want it over your head, right? You want it sort of over your chest. Your focus is your chest. It's not your shoulders. It's not your abdomen. It's your chest. Ready? If you're doing chest exercises, over your chest. Out to the side. And then up. Hold it. Go down. Now you'll really feel it in the outer parts of your chest. When you come here, centrally. This might be too light. Hold up. Like that, nice, over your chest. Eleven. 12. Beautiful. So 3 sets of that through your workout. And so when you're going out, you'll feel it a lot here. This really gets you that size there. And as you're coming in, you'll literally be able to feel it. Look, it depends, not always, but you'll feel it coming down your muscles. Like that, and you come in and tight. You want to feel it in the middle there. Yeah. All right, another set. So again, we're not taking long times to rest. We're just getting through the workout. And a lot of the stuff you can do within an hour. So you can have a quick gym sesh. If you're cooking at home, that's up to slow cooking, put it on, have a gym sesh, done in an hour. You know, when you got kids, put on Play School, let them watch Play School. You jump out the garage quickly, have a quick sesh. It's actually quite hard training and talking at the same time. I don't think that'd be hard for me to say. I do a lot of talking. But yeah, so a lot of people say, I don't have time to train. You know, if you got soup on the stove, you can jump in and out, check it, stir it, have a set. You know, if you're looking to do, how long do I rest for? How about pop some bolognese on, do a set, stir it, come back. Do a set, stir it, come back. You know, kids are quite happy watching after school cartoons, all that kind of stuff at the moment. Have a quick sesh. I thought they'd be out here running around, set the camera on. My 6-year-old's a movie star. Always asking to be, I want to be on TikTok, I want to be on TikTok. Chill, wait. Dad's a star. No. All right. There we go. 4. Third set. There's that done. I have no idea if my technique was any good then. Just concentrating too much on the camera being on me. Alright. Now we'll just pop these safety bars back. I hate having things lying around even though I've got heap of things. So again, we do an exercise of chest and then tries. Chest, tries. Chest, tries. So this one's pretty good. You can get through these pretty quick. We're doing, the overhead sort of stuff. Straight up. 1, 2. There's 1. And you can really do some really good hypertrophy. I can't say the word on these too. I'll show you. 6, 7, 8. And just don't rest. Keep going. I have no idea. I usually do them in front of a mirror. So excuse me if my technique's a bit off. All right, now the other arm's rested. Just keep going. Do our 3 sets really quick. I'll have a bit of rest after that one. So that's a really good exercise because it does your tries, but you also feel it sort of in your upper chest because you're holding it up like that. It's working your shoulders, smash a little bit of rear delts, which you need a bit of work on. And you can already see, compared to when we first started, we're really starting to see that come along good. The pump. It's had perfect lighting in here. Gotta get some LEDs, downlights. What's going on, mate? Fix your gym. It's really cheaply done. You don't need nothing fancy. Eventually I want to get some dumbbells, the stack rack there. Got to straighten this up. Good old earthquake. Had a couple of them. It's just hanging there at the moment. Yes, I'm lazy, just like every other dad. Can't be bothered. I can't be bothered. Too busy. I'll cut the grass eventually. I'll fix that thing. I'll get to it. Don't worry. At the moment, it's no issue. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah? Right, third set. Another really good exercise, skull crushes. I do them too. The skull crushes with the bar, really, especially with the curved bar. Can't be bothered setting it up right now, but I'll run you through it quickly. So you need one of these if you're doing skull crushes. So see you got that, because you hold it like this in there, all right? And how are we doing this so you can see it? Maybe if we turn it a little bit. Oh, fuck it, I'll just do it here. All right, so you want to be lying down. So skull crushes because it's over your skull, and you're like that, obviously lying down. I'll try and do one lying down here without any weights. But yeah, just effectively up, down. And these are like one of the best exercises for dries. I usually do these at the gym later on. All right, but I said I'd do some incline chest, walk you through that. Check out my full length proper gym towels, high cotton thread with our logo on it. These are premium. This high thread count, like really good, really absorbent. Really good in the wash. That's embroidery, however you want to say it. Not a sticker. And we really want premium sort of stuff. All right, so incline chest. So you want it back a little bit. You don't want to have a straight back in it. Let's just fix up some of this stuff. Sorry about your ears. All right, let's go to the 20s. Now you'll find with the incline bench press, you're not going to be able to lift as heavy. That might actually be too heavy for this one. I'll give it a go. We'll try it. So we're declined back a bit, inclined, whatever. And so you want to come up, touch. Now you don't want to do shoulders, you want to do chest. If you're feeling in your shoulders, come lower. Like I said, if you work in your chest, you want it to be over your chest. So again, right, you want it to be over your chest. don't know if I did it right. It was probably a bit too heavy for the incline. You don't want it to go up your shoulders. You want it to be over your chest. Go a bit lighter. Let's reset to 12. Over your chest. All right. Starting to get a bit fatigued. And that's coming back off the shred. That's good. You want to be sort of fatigued, like you know you're working your muscles then. If you can't finish your set, that's what I find a lot of people do. They'll stop. You know, it's all right. So we got to 8 then. Still a good number. We aim for 8 to 12. You know, I prefer the 12, but I really like to get to 12. So have a quick break, right, and finish your set. Finish your reps. 9. And you don't want to have a long rest. If you can't get to 12, yeah, don't have a long rest. Put it down, quick second, because you don't want to lose the pump. You don't want to lose that stamina. You just want to give your muscle a quick rest and force it to get to 12. Okay? You really want to tear those muscles healthily, not as a physical tear injury, but your muscle fibers, you want them to grow. Yeah, so that's our home chest and try workout. Oh, I will run you through one thing. The other thing I usually do are dips. You know, there's a dip bar across the road, but we're not going to go out there. It's a bit windy at the moment. And I've only got a cheap tripod. But if you're at home and you can't do proper dips yet because you're still building strength, get yourself a bench or a chair. Hands next to your glutes. So you want to pretty much sitting on them, but not like that. I've got to fix this towel and slide right off. Legs like that, as you can see. Now you come out. Got stuff in your way. I have to move down a little bit. All right. Now you don't want your legs to do the work. You want your tries. I'm probably too far out. 8, 9. So you want your tries to be doing the work, not your legs. All right. Let me smooth that towel. Let's slip it and slide. So again, if you need to rest because you're going to have an injury, rest. You can keep going. Keep going because you want your muscle fibers. You want to train them. You want them to tear health, like as in a healthy way. There you go, it's better. So here we are, we're doing flies. Now, I really like the machine sort of flies. I do them both. I tried them today with the, gotta make sure this is on because I just stuffed it before it turned off on me, battery died. Yeah, all the lads are laughing at me in the gym for having a tripod and filming the stuff. I feel like a bit of a douche, gotta say. But anyway, back to it. So I really enjoy doing machine exercises as well, incorporating them. I think it's important to do both. You know, free weights. You're also focusing on stabilizing muscles, all different kind of things. So it's important to use both. Just people going past after, all the lads and the girls. So anyway, with the machine flies, you know, these are great to work out your pecs, get that cleavage happening in the chest cavity, and they're quite easy. Just bring it in like that, wide out, and it's more targeted, more focused using machines. And again, we don't want to go over 12, 8 to 12. I'm finding everything a lot easier now that I'm back to eating normal, not shredding and on a calorie deficit. I've just got so much more strength. So it makes everything a little bit harder to figure out what I'm doing. Not doing, but you know what I mean. There we go. Yep. It's giving me shit. Anyway, let's put this tripod away and move to the next exercise. Alrighty. So I didn't get to get you through my whole sesh in the gym. It was a bit hard with everyone around giving me crap with the tripod. It's a bit funny, that one, I guess. It's always a bit weird, awkward. You know, people aren't used to tripods. It's a shame job. No, but look, we went through the flies, fly machine. That was the main thing that I wanted to bring that and show you. I think that's a really good exercise because it isolates your chest. Like I was saying before, when you use free weights, you're also trying to stabilize, balance. There's a lot going on. And being able to use a machine, there's a benefit that it just solely targets those core muscles. And they're great to add to any workout. A must add, a machine. So you can do your free weight stuff, but if you're really looking to put size on and grow and target, especially for me when I'm focusing on my legs, the machines help in that regard. So yeah, I had a really good sesh. You know, I train at Derrimut. I switch around to a few Derrimut gyms. I thoroughly enjoy training at a Derrimut gym, and I think the main reason for that is that the story sort of behind it. Like, I'm not fully big on I think Nick, the owner's name is, and I'm not fully across the whole story, but in relation to Derrimut, it's a gym. It's a good success story. It's someone who started a gym in the western suburbs, you know, hence why it's called Derrimut. You know, that's where it started, and now they're, you know, found all over the place, all over Australia now. It keeps expanding. And I think it's a really good initiative. Also a really good success story from something that's come out of the West, the business that's, you know, grown and yeah, just providing economic opportunities for people, jobs, employment. Like, gyms are really taking off, and I think you know, one thing that I do realise with gyms is that, you know, they're changing the game for a lot of things. Like, when it comes to men's health, right? Like, you'll find like Derrimut, it's more than a gym. It's a good social circle for blokes and women, you know, that train. And it's you know, I put a bit of a talk about this before together, but my microphone wasn't recording. The battery died in it. Ultimately, you know, in the past we had you know, guys would go to the pub for mental health, right? You know, I spoke a bit about previously how, you know, men's health is funded 150 million per year, while women's health is around 1.1 billion per year, and a lot of that is around, you know, the funding. And I understand, you know, in the bygone era, even now, women aren't paid as much. Previously, women weren't allowed to work. You had this whole social movement that, you know, enabled houses were born out of, where women could go and do, you know, gender-specific things, because it was quite gendered back then. Whereas now in 2023, things are starting to change. But ultimately, what I was saying is that, you know, previously guys would, for mental health, go to the pub, right, and just smash beer and drugs and just get themselves in a worse state, really, than actually dealing with the problems. And that's how I think men's health is targeted most of the time. Like, she'll be right, get over it, soldier on, go to work. Got an issue, go get sloshed, you'll forget about it, wake up hungover, do it all again the next day. You know, then we came to around the 80s and 90s, and you really saw pokies venues come into play now. And like, a lot of people go on about pokies, but you need to understand, I think people fail to understand, is that pokies provide, like, this shit. I don't gamble. I don't really like it. If I do, mate, I can't even remember the last time I gambled. You know, I don't even put a punt on Melbourne Cup anymore. It used to be tradition years ago. I really don't like losing money. But ultimately, if you look at people who are struggling need to escape, family violence, need to escape the situation they're in, what's open in the community? There's nothing. Nothing at night is open except for pokies. So people go to the pokies, and then they end up in this routine. You go to the pokies, you can't just sit there. People won't want to just sit there. So they gamble their money away, and then if they win, it makes them feel good. If they get feature, I've used to gamble, I know what gambling is about. They get special feature, it makes them feel good, makes them forget their troubles, right? But we're in an age now where we're really starting to see health and fitness take a hold. So you're seeing gyms that are open 24/7 now, and they've become the new place of, that you go to escape things, or just to make friends in general. A lot of the blokes and women that I speak to, it's not that they've got issues at home, it's just, got nothing to do. It's boring. I want to go out and speak to people. I want to go out and do things, and you can't always go out partying because, getting absolutely drunk every night's not very healthy. You can't really wake up the next day and go to work. It's just, you want to be doing something positive, and that's what the gym is. Derrima's got a lot of chairs. You can sit down, have a chat with people. They've got meals even, for people who are single, who don't cook or have no one to help them out at home. There's food there. You can put it in the microwave, heat it up, have a chat, make some mates. And that's what's given me the idea to really move into that men's space. And again, like I was saying in my other video, a lot of younger blokes come in, a lot of older blokes come in. There's a good mix, all different demographics, all different groups. And that's one thing about, bodybuilding and training that I really, really enjoy. If you go back like years ago to the Arnie days, the 60s, 70s, all that kind of stuff, it's very multicultural. Like, no one really gives a shit what culture you're from, your beliefs. Everyone looks the same when they're in a bikini. Everyone looks the same when they're in their jocks on stage. Here's the thing: it doesn't matter what color you are, you've all got the same muscle groups. So it's a place that's quite mixed, and that's what I like about Derrimut as well, especially in the western suburbs. Quite a multicultural community. There's a broad range of different people, and at the end of the day, that's what people are. Just people. Right? And people want that social connection, and that's what's given me the idea of advancing in this space and using health and well-being as a platform and a medium to do that, because it's not like that service model where you're rocking up to like some white-walled thing. Oh, I've got an issue, I've got a problem, need to talk about it. People don't do that. People don't want to do that. It's isolating, it's institutionalized, it's not normal. Humans are social creatures. We like to talk, even if it's just talking crap, and we like to do it amongst people that we trust or that we can have a chat with. So there's a benefit there of doing all that kind of stuff. And I talk about wanting to open up my own gym because that's something I want to progress into over the next couple of years. And it's funny because I sit here and I say, I quite enjoy training at Derrimut. It's a good place, this, that, and promoting it right now. I pretty much mentioning it in my videos. And as part of the SWOT analysis I've done, and that's the thing, right? When you're doing businesses, a bit like a power map, and people don't know what that is. It's sort of or a SWOT analysis. Like, I've used that terminology that many times, I can't remember what SWOT stands for anymore. But effectively, it's you need to know your competition if you're going into business. You need to know who's around, what they're doing, who's your threat. Strengths, weaknesses, threats, assets or whatever sort of thing. So just because a market is saturated doesn't mean there's no avenue for you to enter if you want to enter. If you think you can do something that's innovative, agile, different, or a niche, it could still be quite profitable. But it's good to have a SWOT analysis so you know who's around. And I think that's the other benefit of jumping on my channel, being someone who's a bit older, a bit knowledgeable. We can talk about things like this, like SWOT analysis, power maps. Power maps are really useful if you're at work, if you want to progress in your career. Right, so people talk about career progression. Here's a bit of a tip. Right, you would have heard back in the day your parents say you start off as a cleaner, you end up as a CEO. Well, those days are long gone. You need education, you need this, you need that, but you also need a power map. So what's a power map? So for the context of a workplace, it's good to make a lot of networks and friends and maintain your relationships at work. Right, so your power map is who's in power, who's in my side, who's an asset, who's a liability. Because let's be honest, you're in a workplace, there are people who want, well, if you want to progress in your career, everybody wants to progress in their career, yeah? But there's only like one, say in a team, there's only one manager position, right? And everyone in your team, even though some will tell you, I don't want to be a manager, they want to be a manager, right? I'm sure there's an odd occasion that people don't want to be a manager, but most people want to progress in their career. So if you want to progress in your career, you need to come up with a strategy to do that. You know, it might not always mean staying where you are. You might want to find another job. You can move sideways. Moving sideways means, you know, the same job for a different company where you have opportunities. But a good way to start is a power map, right? So it gives you a good lay of the land. Who do you know at work? Who's your friend? You know, who can help you progress in your career? You know, like who's going to be a reference for you? All that. You want all that information written down that you can reflect on, so you know which relationships you need to build on, and you also which relationships are toxic to you. Just because you work with someone doesn't mean, you know, you're going to be mates. Not everyone's going to get along. Not everyone's going to see eye to eye, and that's fine. That's normal. Everyone's different. Everyone's got a different view and opinion. But you need to really be conscious if you want to grow in your career and excel. You know, which are the people you want around you and who's going to help you get there. And that's where power maps come into handy, and you can apply them to all different sort of dynamics in friends groups, all that kind of stuff, if you try to do stuff in business as well. Business is more the SWOT analysis, you know, what businesses in your field are around, what are they doing, and also helps you understand the viability, because it might not be viable to progress in that position or in that business if there's too much around and you don't think you can crack into the market. You know, again, you know, I'm doing something a bit different, and it's a bit of a see how we go sort of thing. But yeah, so again, going back to the original point about Derrimut, I really think it's a good business that's come out of the western suburbs, and now, you know, it just continues to grow. Like Geelong, you know, I think South Australia's open now. You could literally do a tour. Like, you know, you used to do pub crawls, you can do a Derrimut gym crawl. That's a good idea. Maybe we should do a Derrimut gym crawl and sell some tickets and hire a bus and just do a Derrimut gym crawl for like 2 weeks. I say 2 weeks because you need to get to South Australia. Well, it's about an 8-hour drive. But let's be honest, you're going to be stopping along the way. You know, so it's a different world now. So, you know, before the pub, smash the alcohol, get off your face, go to work the next day, and it's quite damaging to health. And that image was portrayed to kids seeing that, kids grew up doing that, and generational change is not easy, it takes time, and in that, things also change on their own. Like, you know, like I said, you then went to pokies, and now people go to the gym. And I think it's important, like, you would have seen heaps of media, heaps of councils, and heaps of people stop the pokies, blow up the pokies, blah, 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 blah. The problem that you face with that is that it's a business. You know, that's what people fail to understand. I know it might not be the best business, because I understand people are losing money, but it's providing, you know, employment opportunities for people in the local community. Regardless if that pokies existed on that corner or not, people are still going to gamble. They'll just go somewhere else. It might not be in the community, it might be in the city, because let's be honest, the city gambling is never going to end. So you can't get rid of it. If you want to get rid of the pokies, you need to understand why people are going to the pokies to begin with. You'll have your recreational spenders. You probably don't spend that much. Go around, a couple of drinks every now and then. But then you have got your, you know, hardened gamblers that go every day or every weekend, and you got to replace. If you got to get rid of it, you got to replace it with something. You got to give people something to do. You know, there's a lack of funding and support in, you know, community services for the weekends. You know, like you would have heard years ago, you know, blue light discos, all that kind of stuff for kids. Parents take their kids. Nothing of that gets done anymore, right? So we're teaching kids not to occupy themselves with healthy habits, but to go out on their own and come up with their own, you know, things to do. And unfortunately, when there's nothing in the areas to do, kids don't always make the best decisions. Yeah, we've all been kids, we've all made choices, might not have been good all the time, but when you fail to provide the appropriate structure, what builds up around it are things that just happen. It could be anything. And when there's the increase in crime, you look at a lot of the crimes that's occurring, shoplifting, assaults, thefts, all that kind of stuff from kids. Kids don't have any money. If they ain't got no money, first of all, if there's nothing for them to do, the next thing they need is money so they can do something. If kids don't got no money, because kids can't really get a job, they're still in school, some are too young, inexperienced, where are they getting money from? The parents. Well, sorry to break it to you, but out here in the western suburbs, people are working class. We're all workers here. No one's got that much money that they can throw $50 at their kid, $100 at their kid every day. Oh, here you go entertain yourself, go down to Time Zone, go down to take your mates out. No, people are struggling to make ends meet, especially with interest rates at the moment. So what do? They're going to go find some way to make money. And then on top of that, you got people that take advantage of kids. We can pretend that they don't, but they do. So we really need to focus on what's available after hours, where can kids go, and what's the company that they're learning from. What are they being taught? What are they seeing on social media? These are all the things I worry about as a dad, I guess, as well. I suppose all parents do. And it's just pretty much why I've decided to get involved and try and make a difference. And it's not just about youth, it's men as well. We all go through things. We need stronger support networks as men. We need sector funded properly. Even if it's just somewhere to go of an evening because it's not that good at home, or it's upsetting at the moment, stressed out. Like I said before in the previous video, finances lead to domestic violence. That's one of the key indicators, or one of the key causes. And most of the time, I'm pretty confident to say that just about every family violence case, there's poverty involved in it, and AOD issues. Not always AOD issues, but you'd find that it's quite common that poverty, AOD go hand in hand with family violence. Why? Because people that have financial stability and enough money to buy food aren't arguing with each other about where they're going to get the next meal from. They're not arguing with each other about how they're going to pay rent. They're not in a high stressful environment knowing that they don't have enough money to cover the bills or send their kids to school with food on their plate, with a lunch. So once those issues are gone, you got less issues at home. But people go through tough times all the time. Things get tough, up and down. Bills, this, that, da. So in those moments where you might not be getting along with your partner, or your kids are stressing you out and you can't handle it, you've had a rough day at work, whatever it is, in-laws are over, who knows what it is, and you need to get out, need to get some time out, where do people go? Before it was a pub, pokies, people go to pokies, the only thing open. Now we're starting to see gyms come into that space. At least gyms are a bit more positive, where you're actually doing something like physical exercise has been proven to increase your mood, support, reduce stress, support overall health. So it's just a no-brainer, really. But anyway, that's a bit more of the car talk. And like I say, anyone can put a video together to go, this is how you do a busted kid, this is how you do short pass. Millions. I want to do something a bit different, have a bit more of a chat, focus on a couple of the core issues I'll be wanting to get involved in this space, in this training, and what we want to achieve. We want to achieve a better future for everyone, and make sure blokes are looked after too. Alright, take it easy and keep training.